Hello, hello, my wonderful classmates. How are y'all doing today? On this wonderful Cinco de Mayo, actually. Hey. So anyway, let's get right down to it. My name's Luke Meza, and so what our research project focused on was um, the relationship between smartphone use and psychological well-being. So our first research question: how the amount of daily smartphone use affects psychological well-being. My hypothesis was that the greater amount of smartphone use would increase negative affect and decrease life satisfaction. So, method. Our final analysis consisted of 356 participants. That's a nice size if you ask me. Materials. So we measured smartphone use both passively and actively. We asked for demographic information, the first language they spoke, their gender, their age, their race, their ethnicity, all that kind of stuff. And then we used the Spain scale, which measured positive and negative affects. And then we used the SWLS scale, which simply measures life satisfaction. So yeah, on to our procedure section of study one. Our participants found the link of our survey on our social media networks, whether it was Facebook, Snapchat, Twitter, Instagram, all that fun stuff that we're always on. But so yeah, our survey only took about 10 minutes. It was very short, and like I said before, it contained all the measures I just mentioned in the materials section. We had our questions in randomized order to control order effects, except for the demographic questions. These were at the bottom, and these were all the same for everybody, for every participant. Excuse me. And then we simply debriefed and thanked our participants for participating. A strength of our project was the large sample size that we had that I mentioned before. This increases power, increases reliability, increases external validity, all that cool scientific stuff. And then a weakness of our study one was correlational study. You can't measure causality. I think that's how you say it. If not, we'll just roll with it. But anyway, so our results came back, and this is what they said. So passive smartphone use and negative emotions were weakly positively correlated. Active smartphone use and negative emotion were weakly positively correlated, and total smartphone use and negative emotion were weakly positively correlated. And all of other relationships were not significant enough to even mention. So back to my hypothesis, I was halfway right. Yes, I said with larger amount of time on your smartphone, it would increase negative affect, but the decrease in life satisfaction didn't happen. So on to study two. So how does the lack of smartphone use for a 24-hour period affect psychological well-being? Okay, so my hypothesis. I didn't think that there would be a significant change in psychological well-being after only a 24-hour period. I thought there would have had to have been at least a week without the smartphone or a month without the smartphone to see any significant results. But let's see what happens. So our participants, we only had 14 participants in our final analysis, not very big. Our materials consist of smartphone use conditions. Time 1 survey being with no phone limitations. Time 2 survey being with the 24-hour period before the survey with no phone. And then we use the Spain scale and the SWLS scale, as I already talked about those. Procedure. The pre-survey, just like I mentioned, it measured positive affect, negative affect, and life satisfaction with normal phone conditions. And then we asked our participants to go a whole day, a whole 24 hours without their phone, and then take the same survey. And then we simply thanked our participants again. And then strengths. So random order of questions. This was to prevent biases. And then weaknesses. It was a small sample size, like I mentioned. A greater sample size increases power. It increases effect size and all that kind of stuff. So our results after a 24-hour period of no cell phone use, negative affect actually was reduced, and positive affect increased. So my hypothesis was wrong. There was change, and I would say for the good. So yeah, but all other relationships were not significant enough to mention. So my conclusion, what I thought was important about this study, this project, was that I kind of mostly what I got from the information was that more so than anything, I felt like cell phones and smartphone devices were causing negative affect. So I think this is very important because people that are experiencing anxiety or depression, this is something that can maybe be a quick fix for them. They can stop using their phone as much, and maybe they can see positive results in their mood, and they can grow an increase in positive affect just through a simple procedure like that. So I find that pretty interesting that there's something that's that little that you can change and maybe improve your life that much. So yeah, that's my presentation. But last thing I want to say is I never thought I would be doing a presentation like this. Look how cool this is. Look how peaceful that is. That's pretty awesome. So yeah, I just wanted to share that with y'all. So yeah, I thought this experience was awesome, and I will see y'all Wednesday at the party. Let's do it.